Next thing that we did is we now have a new adapter for VCF operations. This is an MVP/POC. It's also in beta, and it only currently does 4 entities of VCF. VCF stands for VMware Cloud Foundation, and that's basically the system that VMware uses to operate cloud providers. So you can do data centers and all the things that you can do in a data center, like creating VMs, having hardware, all these kinds of things. They are using VCF for. It's our largest software product in Broadcom, and that's why we have started integrating with it. It's a beta. It doesn't support all the things that are probably necessary, but it's start, and it's there to show that ConnectALL can connect to VCF. Currently, we have 3 different entities in there, and these entities are there to get the things that we can get out of VCF. Basically, the adapter in itself is only there for VCF version 9. So it's not working for any previous version of VCF. Most cloud providers are currently still on 8, so there's not going to be a lot of usage as of now. The most important thing in VCF are called resources, and resources are pretty much everything. So they're all the physical hardware, like their hosts, network switches and firewalls, storage units, and such, and every virtual configuration that is possible. So from virtual machines over blueprints, reports, orchestration scripts, network configuration, anything you can think of. In the current beta version, we only have 2 use cases that we support. So syncing resources to CMDB and syncing reports to a CMDB. So like a configuration management database. Once configuration management database is available in ServiceNow and in this adapter. So what's a resource? A resource is basically everything that's an entity in VCF. So we do not support any create update currently on the VCF adapter. That's basically because we currently don't have a test system for it, and because of that, it is a little bit. The system that we're using is a demo system, and we shouldn't change anything in there. And of course, changing a resource could potentially mean that you destroy the whole system, because the top level resource, the vCenter, can also be changed through that API. So these are the fields that we currently support. There's a ton of fields more in the resources. Currently, we've dumped it down to a POC level, so to have fields in there that might be asked by customers. So reports are actually things that you can define, or in the end, tables that you can define. You can put in any metric that you want to get out of VCF. These value tables are read by ConnectALL and can then be put into any other system. This is actually a use case that is asked for, because a lot of customers can actually define their reports, but they're not capable of getting them out of their VCF system, an in-between download of a PDF or a CSV file, and then either manually or via a flat file adapter or something like that uploaded. So we can now directly get any metric information out of the system, and especially when it comes to things like oversized or undersized VMs, this is a thing that is actually quite useful for most part. Reports are always generated dynamically. So for the resources, I have a defined field list. For reports, it's not a defined field list. So any report has its own definition of fields. And these fields are then, of course, read by ConnectALL and displayed as mappable fields. And so for the different kinds of reports, you will have different kinds of fields depending on the report that you select. So there's 2 main use cases that we currently have defined. The one is resources to ServiceNow, as I already said, where there's the name mapped over to an entity in ServiceNow, and then of course status, an enabled flag, these kinds of things. And the second use case would be reports, for example, underused VMs, and then putting that into a dashboard. Could be any kind of dashboard, any kind of system where we can put that to. VCF adapter currently looks like this. So we have here an automation where we go from VCF report to a ServiceNow CMDB. And looking at this, we currently have one demo system for VCF available. So in the connection, everything is no real changes. You have your VCF connection. On the entity mapping, as you can see, there is report and resource policy is there, but it's an entity that is currently not really in use. And on report, you have the different kinds of reports that are there. Those are mapped here to the CMDB CI of ServiceNow. And then you can see the field mapping and everything else is pretty much the same. The current implementation on 4.0 does not support advanced value mapping. So it is basically just standard value mapping that you can do with that adapter. Advanced value mapping will come in the next release. The adapter in itself, one thing that I have to point out as VCF does not have any last update date. We currently, when reading, we are reading always all resources. So that's why as soon as you start up a resource automation, you will get a lot of first created, because of course it reads all the resources of VCF. And then after it has read it on every poll, it will actually read everything again, but just skip those where there's no changes. So the only thing is you will see a lot of skips as soon as you start with that, and there's only a tiny amount of updates because not that much changes. That's basically all there is to say currently about the VCF adapter.